All right, good afternoon, traders. Today's August 1st, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate everybody that follows my content. Thank everybody in the room first. Thank you for your subscriptions. I don't take that for granted. I try to provide actionable, profitable content every single day. That's my intentions. And on top of that, I offer free coaching, free 15-minute coaching for all of those that, if your account's not growing, please get with me. Let's fix this so you stop losing money, all right? Everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land, thank you for your following, your subscription, your likes. Bob, Jordan, Kathy, Sarah, everybody out there, thank you for the kind comments. You make my day. Thank you so much. Sharing my content and leaving the kind words. I love that. Thank you so much. So I lost 61K today. Okay, let me just preface this. I lost 61K today. Okay, this is the account. All right. We started this account with $27,000. All right. Back on, it was on 7. I'll tell you in a second here. We started this last open house. So there'll be the first Monday of July. So first Monday of July was 7/7. So back on 7/7, we started this account with 27K. All right. So, and I built that account up to, let's go back to it. If I can find it, it's right here. Built that account up to $1,655,000 right there. Okay. So, yes, I lost 61K today. It's because I put out some risk. All right. I built that account all the way up to, you can see right there, over $1.5 million in less than 30 days. Okay? Less than 30 days. Here's my track record. I keep track of everything. There's my track record that shows my performance each day. All right? You can see we're up over $1.5 million. Okay, so if you're watching this and you see that, oh my gosh, you lost $61,000 today. That's terrible. How did he do that? Okay, let me preface that. All right, this started with $27,000 and we brought it all the way up to $1.5 million. I'm going to start a new account on Monday on the next open house, which leads me right into, all right, it's going to lead me right into my next slide. Okay. Next slide is the open house. Okay, I'm going to have an open house on Monday. It runs from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. All right. It's free to attend. It's no charge. Okay. All you got to do is register. I'm going to leave a registration link in the description of the video. I'll leave a registration link everywhere, all over all of my YouTube, all over my Facebook, all over my Twitter X accounts, anywhere that I am, if you can see me, I'm going to leave a link to that open house. Again, it's free. All you got to do is register, and we will send you the credentials either Sunday night or early Monday morning to get into the room. Okay? If you have trouble getting into the room, contact service@hitandruncandlesticks.com and ask for Ed Carter and ask for some help. Okay, there you go, right there. Okay, send him an email, all right, and he'll be glad to help you out. Okay, so there we are, Monday, August 4th. That's this Monday, right after this weekend. We're going to go through. Okay, 8 a.m. to 4, open house, free to attend. Again, all you got to do is register. All right, so what did I do today? Okay, well, let me just say this, okay? I saw the wonderful pop that we got in Meta and Microsoft, okay? from the earnings. It seemed like it was from the earnings. I don't know what it was from, but it seemed like it was from the earnings, okay? And then I saw Apple and Amazon, and I noticed that we're in a rocking good economy, and I bought a whole lot more calls than probably I should have, okay? And because of that, and then you can see I didn't get the same reaction off the good earnings that Microsoft and Meta, okay? Notice their earnings, they gapped up, okay? On Amazon, and Apple and Amazon had good earnings, okay? I'm just telling you, they had good earnings, but we gapped down, okay? So you can see right now we're in a bear flag right here, okay? So that's a bear flag down to usually what happens. Notice they're not giving it up, all right? So they move down and they're not giving up what they moved down. So they've moved down and they're over to the right. Okay, just like I say, this is strength. Okay, that's strength. Remember I say plank for 6.5 hours, that's strength. Okay, and then this is neutral. You go up, you give it up, that's neutral. Even going down and giving it up, that's neutral. Okay, so that's neutral, that's neutral. Okay, going up and holding the higher ground, that's strength. Like I said, think of planking, all right? How long you can hold a plank with your, your waist and your gut off the ground like that, okay? It takes a lot of strength. So that's bullish, like that, all right? Well, this is weakness, all right? When you see price move down and over to the right, that shows weakness right there because they're moving down. Notice there's no red rubber school ball bounce happening here. Okay, they're moving down and they're staying down. Okay, it's like somebody knocked them out. Okay, so there it is, 10-minute chart right there, and you're seeing a bear flag. All right, so notice it's not like this, and Wall Street bought the dip. Okay, we didn't get that. Not today. Maybe it happens Monday, but it's not happening today. Okay, so Wall Street's doesn't seem to be interested in buying this dip, even with all the good earnings that we had in the mega caps, all right? Okay, so we'll see what happens. That's where we're at right now, okay? That is weakness, all right? And notice, bearish gap down, not filled by the bulls, okay, all day. Okay, so the bulls showed weakness all day. The bears showed strength. All right, so there's 10-minute chart, and let's zoom in here. And then we'll go visit some of those options that I traded. All right, so we leave off with just a squeaky, bullish 10-minute uptrend. Okay, notice the 3 is hugging the 8. All right, so it's not. It's anybody. It's a coin flip. All right, right there. It's a coin flip because it's not a really robust 10-minute uptrend, and it's not a robust 10-minute downtrend, okay? And it is in a bear flag, okay, that's just moved over to the right, okay? So, and you can see they tried to make a high here. They couldn't even get to start the fill gap, and then they tried here. They made a higher high. Not significant though, all right, and obviously couldn't fill gap there either. Couldn't even make it to the day's open, and they turned around and made a non-significant lower low right here. All right, so they're just moving over to the right. So we're consolidating over to the right. So that's more of a consolidation than it is an uptrend. Okay, on the 2-hour, and then we're going to go look at the options. 2 hours in a downtrend, you can see the 3 EMA is underneath the 8 EMA here. So 2-hour downtrend. On the daily chart, daily's still in an uptrend, okay? But if they take out this low right here, okay, they'll be in a downtrend, okay? Taking out that low equals downtrend. It's got to be below the 17, okay? So that's the first low you come to, below the 17. Take out that low. They negate or they lose the uptrend status and they start a downtrend right there. Okay, so what did I trade? Well, let's just move this back just a little bit. Okay, some August 615 puts. Okay, those those obviously did well. Why? Because the market went down for the good part of the day. All right, so take a look at those. Again, on the 10-minute downtrends, okay, I am, I'm buying it's a put, all right, so I'm buying the low of the candle and selling the high, okay, it's a put. So as the market dips, the price of the put goes up, all right, it's hard to figure that out sometimes, but it is a short instrument, all right, in other words, it increases in value when the market dips or decreases in value, okay? Because it's a put, so it's a short instrument. So when the market goes down, the value of the put goes up. All right, so I bought the lows of the candle on the 10-minute downtrend. I bought the lows of the 10-minute candles and sold the peaks. Okay, you can see where I accumulated some here and then sold the peaks. Okay, that's all I did on those 10-minute downtrends. Okay, and let's go look at those 10-minute downtrends. We had a few. All right, they weren't like robust 10-minute downtrends, but they were there. All right, so let's just move this over. Excuse me. 10-minute downtrend started right out of the gate. Notice we opened up. I'm going to go to a 5-minute chart, and I'm going to pan over. Okay, the first candle, or I'm going to put the pre-market on so you can see it. Okay, the first candle right here was a break of the overnight or the morning session right there. Okay, the first candle broke the lows of the morning session right there with a red candle. All right, and it wasn't no bottoming wick candle. See, like bottoming tail. All right, because I wouldn't have bought that. All right, it was a solid candle right there. Okay, so you could short right as they broke through the bottom of this flag right here. Price action moving over to the right. Okay, so there was the entry, and there's a 10-minute downtrend. You know, down into this low and down into this low. Okay, then you can see you got a 10-minute uptrend that didn't last long at all. After breaking the rubber band candle, they gave you one 10-minute candle. That's it. Okay, then we started another 10-minute downtrend. Okay, underneath VWAP right through here, and that was the other one. And then you can see we closed out the day by consolidating. Okay, so that's how I traded today on those 10-minute downtrends. Okay, those were puts. That was a short instrument. On the calls, okay, so let's take a look at the calls. On the 10-minute uptrend back, I bought the lows of the candles and sold the highs. Okay, bought the lows, sold the highs. Okay, on those, got some more puts, 0 DTE puts. Again, bought the lows and sold the highs. Okay, so price was coming down to break the lows. I bought some puts for a breakdown and sold into that dip down there and then covered those out. Okay, so there's those. Made 11K on those 0 DTE 618 puts. The one before that was the 7 days till expiration 645 calls. All right, didn't need much of those. All right, because hey, we're nowhere near 645 down here at 622. All right, so next product was 5 days till expiration 620 puts. Let's see if they're going to show up here. Okay, again, buying the dip, you know, the move down and selling into the valley. See, price comes down into the valley. So that means the product, the instrument increases in value. So I buy the low, sell the high. Buy the low, sell the high. Buy the, sell the high. Buy the low and then sell the high. Okay, see as price comes down, I sell into that drop right there. Buy the low, sell the high right there. Okay, and that's it. That's what I have for those. Okay, those were puts. 7 days till expiration, 610 puts. Okay, it's going to be the same thing. All right, I'm going to buy and then sell into the dip. All right, as price goes up. Buy, sell into the dip. Okay, as price comes down, I take my profits. Okay, reload, and then I'm looking for another dip coming down maybe on Monday or next week. Okay, there you go for that. Okay, that's 4 $1,700 on those, $766 on these 0 DTE 622 puts. Again, buying the lows and selling the highs. See, buying the low and then selling the high, buying the low, sell the high, buy the low, and I got some of those left over. All right, some 630, 3 days till expiration, 630 calls. All right, $660 on those. Okay, these I was underwater on. Okay, so I had to really blast it right here. So I had to pick up like 3,000. All right, in order to bring my cost average down so that I could exit. Okay, at break even or better. All right, for those. That was the SPY 630, 3 days till expiration calls. Okay, on those again, buying the low and selling the highs of the candles as price popped up. See, as price pops up here in that peak, you can see I sell into that strength up there. Okay, lost 8,000 on these 621 calls. Again, that was 0. These were all 0 DTEs. All right. Again, I got a little too heavy. All right, on those overnight, and I paid the price of it. Okay, but that's part of my game plan. I'm allowed to do that as long as my account is growing. And obviously, you saw my account. I shared it with you. You know, my account grew from 27K, all right, all the way up to 1.5 million. All right, so I'm allowed to take some risk. All right. Overnight, all right? I'm allowed to take some of it. Now, let me just say, the day before when Microsoft and Meta gapped up, made over $500,000 on $1 million account, okay? So as you can see right there, made $555,000, okay, on that Microsoft Meta day. So I decided to do perhaps a deja vu. Maybe we're going to do it again this time, and I got burned, all right? But didn't get burned as much as I did the first time, okay, because the first time worked out. So I got burned on that, all right? Again, buying the low, selling the high, buying the low, selling the high, buying the low, selling the high, trying to get myself out at break even, all right? 626 calls, 0 DTE, lost 17K there, okay? Again, buying the low, selling the highs, buying the low, selling the highs, okay? On those 10-minute uptrends right there. And 97K, you can see we fell, okay, all the way from up here, clear down to a penny, all right? Notice not much room to move there, okay? Dropped from all the way from, 40 cents a share, all the way down to a penny. I mean, it'll do that when you drop from, 630 all the way down to 620, okay? 640 now becomes irrelevant. Okay, so obviously the price of the option, even though it's going to expire at 415, so you're not going to see, they're not going to price this at $3 a share because it's going to expire in 6.5 hours, and we're nowhere near that strike price. So hence I lost some money on those, but those were part of my operation for a pop into the morning. We didn't get it, okay? I also thought that, I got to say, on the employment situation, I didn't think that was too bad either, all right? Maybe we lost some jobs, and we were looking for a gain of jobs, but all in all, I didn't think anything was really that terrible, all right, on the economic data this week. I didn't see anything that said, oh, everything's falling apart, all doom and gloom. Didn't see it, okay? So anyways, that's what I traded. And I closed out some Taiwan Semiconductor. I would bring this over there, but it always messes up. Okay, maybe it's not this time. Some Taiwan Semiconductor I closed out. I had a spread. I closed out the short side of the spread on Taiwan Semiconductor for $1,000 profit there, okay? And that's about it right there. That's how I lost my 61K or 69K or whatever it said. I had it up there. Again, okay, let me preface that by saying, I increased the account from 27,000 all the way up to 1.5 million, okay? I took some chances yesterday. All right? That's all there is to it. I took some chances. And I didn't tell anybody. I took chances. All right. So it's not like I wanted you all to follow me. All right. I did it on the sly. Okay. Because I didn't want y'all to follow me, because it may have worked out for me yesterday, but not today. And of course it didn't. So thanks, Robert. Says 621 calls. Yeah, that one said 621 calls. Yeah, 0 DTE right there. All right. I lost a little bit on those, trying to get those to close out. I had them short, and you can see I wanted out, and it looked like we were just melting off right there. So I lost a little bit of money. Let me just say, from the get-go in the morning, there was a lot of options that seemed like overpriced. By the time my computer got a hold of the internet this morning, I'm looking at what I normally buy was like $1 more than what I wanted to pay for it. And I had to hold off this morning because I didn't have any internet. And I would have loved to trade down, but I didn't have any internet. For some reason, the thing just, like right at 9:30 exactly. Like, who does that? Anyways, the internet goes out, and I'm scrambling trying to get anything to come up so I can find a chart. Couldn't get anything going until about 9:50, and then 9:50 rolls around. By then, there's way too much premium wrapped up in all these options, and I'm like, forget it. I missed this day. All right, so there's SPY right there, okay? 10-minute consolidation, 2-hour downtrend, still daily uptrend, but the daily doesn't look pretty. Not at all right? Daily doesn't look pretty. Underneath the 17 EMA, underneath the bearish cross right there, okay? Does not look pretty at all. Okay, so there's SPY on the daily chart. Weekly, still in an uptrend. Monthly, Look at the weekly. It's like this one. Look, you had 3 good weeks. Look at this right here. Okay, this is July. Week 1, week 2, week 3, and look at week 4. Wipes out everything week 1, week 2, and week 3 did. In 2 days, we just wiped out the whole month of bullish trading. In 2 days. In 2 days. Think about that. In 2 days, we just wiped out everything July did to build up. That's crazy. Right there. Okay? Yeah, that's a lot. Yep. So there's SPY. Okay? That's the weekly chart. 1 week, we wiped out everything that we built up for all of July. Okay, so those were 2 horrible days right there. So there's the weekly, monthly, still in an uptrend. Okay, started a new month right here. All right, and let's take a peek at. Let's go look at QQQ. QQQ. On the daily chart, okay, right here, daily chart, okay, again, lower high, lower low, just like SPY, closing underneath, bearish cross, underneath 17, rising 17, okay, you can see it with the quad lines on it, right there, okay, so it's still bullish until they take out this low right here. Still bullish. It's up there in the upper third, and it's still in an uptrend. All right? Same as SPY. Okay? Still bullish, still in an uptrend. FNGU. Okay, FNGU. Still bullish, still in an uptrend. Okay? Actually, they just got a downtrend. See this low that pokes below the 17? FNGU now in a downtrend. Right there. So downtrend, but bullish up here in quadrant 4. Okay, bullish, but downtrend quadrant 4. That's FNGU. Now to negate this downtrend, they have to come up here and take out that high. If they take out that high, they will negate the downtrend and reconvert the uptrend. Okay, there's FNGU, downtrend right there. Okay, let's take a look at IWM. Okay, IWM downtrend. See the low below the 17. Downtrend, but bullish up here. No, that's neutral. Okay, notice they lost the upper third. Okay, if it was in the upper third, that would be bullish. Okay, so anything up here, okay, all of this would be bullish. See how they lost it? Okay, and they're in a downtrend. So they're just neutral, okay? Remember, they went up and they gave it up, okay? That's just neutral. Okay, they could very well go back up and reacquire it, okay? Right now, they went up and they came down and they gave it up. So they're just neutral right here. Neutral and in a downtrend, IWM. Okay, let's take a peek at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow is up in quadrant 4, so that's bullish up there. Okay, that's bullish. Again, they're going up and giving it up, but that's just still up there in quadrant 4, so that's bullish, and still they're in a downtrend as well. Okay, notice here's the low. They made a lower low. Okay, so Diamond Dow, downtrend. Okay, IWM, downtrend. Okay, Diamond Dow bullish, downtrend. IWM neutral, downtrend. Okay, FNGU, okay, bullish, all right, but downtrend right there. SPY, no, we don't have anything below the 17 till we get to here. And QQQ, yeah, we don't have anything below the 17 till we get to here, okay? So there's QQQ. All right, let's take a look at our technicals. T21, 22, okay, we find ourselves meandering from the sell zone into the oversold zone. Pretty much what I projected, all right, this morning, all right? I thought we would have broke the downtrend with all that bullishness coming from the earnings the day before. They didn't, all right? And then we had even more good earnings. I thought maybe we'd make our way back up and break the trend, the downtrend. Didn't happen, okay? So we find ourselves in the oversold zone, camping out all day, drinking the wine from the bulls, all right? Right here. T21.23. Bearish gap down, not filled by the bulls. That's weakness. All right, underneath the 200 SMA. Okay, this is the rubber band candle. They need to recall price back up here. All right, this is T21.23, 15-minute chart. It's in a downtrend because look, it's making lows, it's making lower lows. So that's a downtrend, and we're underneath the flat 200 SMA right there. That's not bullish. All right, but they're still holding a lot of the higher ground. Keep in mind the rally starts way back here, and they're still holding a lot of that higher ground up there. Okay, so there's price action for T21.23. Downtrend, but still bullish up here. Okay, notice on this last wave up, they gave it up. Okay, let's take a look at the 3-bar chart. Okay, price action, got a low, got a higher low, got a high, got a higher high. So 3-bar chart is still in an uptrend. The 15-minute, no, it's not. It's in a downtrend, okay? The 3-bar is still in an uptrend. The 15 is not in an uptrend. The 15 is in a downtrend, okay? So 3-bar chart, higher lows, higher highs, that's an uptrend. They're still bullish up here in the upper quadrant, okay? So if we were to measure this off with quad lines, okay, so you can see they're up in quadrant 4. That's still bullish up there. They're up over this hooking 200 SMA. That's bullish. All right, and they're up over these 2 prior all-time highs. That's these 2 lime green ones right here. Okay, and still in an uptrend. All right, even with this pullback. All right, they'd have to come all the way down here unless I inspect this a little closer. Nope. Okay, they'd have to come all the way down here, take out that low in order to negate the uptrend and convert the downtrend. They're still in the upper third, okay, so they're still bullish. That's T21.23. All right, let's take a look at FNGU. You can already see we're underneath the 200 SMA right there. Okay, now if we look at this price action, that's still bullish up there. Okay, you got consolidation, and then we got consolidation over prior consolidation. That's a bullish environment. And then we got consolidation still over prior consolidation. Okay, nothing's broken here. Okay, but we did gap down, and the bulls didn't fill this gap. Okay, but whenever you see consolidation over prior consolidation, that is a bullish environment. That is a show of strength. Like I said, that's like planking. Okay, so price action, you can see for today. Okay, selling from the beginning to the end of the day. Okay, again, you can see we're underneath the flat 200 SMA. That's not really the right side. We haven't broken the rubber band candle for that flat 200 SMA, so we're still there's still hope that things are going to work out. All right, so here's FNGU again, selling from the beginning to the end of the day, showing us a bear flag. Are they going to put in another move down, or are they going to move back up? All right, we'll find out. Okay, so that's FNGU, 15-minute chart. That's in a downtrend. All right, on the 15-minute chart. Okay, because they made a lower low right there on FNGU. Okay, but on the daily chart, they're still in an uptrend. All right, so that's FNGU. Pretty sure they're still in an uptrend. We'll go back one more time and look at it. Now FNGU's on the daily chart is in a downtrend. Remember, breaking that low. All right, daily chart downtrend, 15-minute downtrend. Okay, so let's take a look at a few sectors. We'll take a look at XLE. Let me pause this for a second. All right, I'm back. All right, so here's XLE. This is our energy sector. Okay, we got higher lows and we got higher highs, so we're still in an uptrend. We're not in the upper third and we're not in the lower third. Okay, so we're just neutral through here. Okay, this would be upper third up here. Okay, this would be lower third down here. Okay, lower third. This is neutral right through here. This is all neutral. See how they go up and they give it up, and they go up and they give it up, and they go up, and it looks like they're giving it up. Okay, so that's neutral. Okay, if they can get up and hold, that would be bullish. Right now they're just neutral. Notice every time they get up to that pink line, that's the all-time high anchored VWAP, they give it up. All right, so there's XLE. They're still in an uptrend. All right, and they're showing a little bit of consolidation over prior consolidation. Let me map some of that out. There's some right there, and we can see we've got, let's try it one more time, some right there. So we got a little bit of consolidation over consolidation. Okay, that is a bullish behavior, but they're not quite in that upper third yet. So they're just neutral and in an uptrend. Okay, let me just say this. If they take out this low right here, okay, they will lose uptrend status. Remember, it's just a label, and they will be in a downtrend. Okay, so taking out that valley low. All right, so we'll see what happens. All right, next week if they take out that valley low, or if they actually come in and put in the higher high from this higher low. See what happens. That's XLE. Let's take a look at USO. All right, USO price action still in an uptrend. Got a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high. Okay, and you can see we're on our way off to make another higher high. So USO in an uptrend. USO in the upper third up here. So that's bullish and in an uptrend. Okay, needed to hold the higher ground. Notice it did hold over this 3-year high anchored VWAP. That's good. But it got up into quadrant 4 and it already gave it up. All right, so again, as long as it's in the upper third, it's bullish. If they come back down here and party with the other 30 days, all right, they're just going to be neutral. All right, they got to get up and hold. I want to see consolidation over prior consolidation. That would be a big show of strength if they could produce that. Okay, so there's USO. UNG is in a bearish head and shoulders. Okay, you got that triple top head right here. Okay, 1, 2, 3 head. All right, and then we got the downtrend. All right, there's your 2 peak right shoulder, 2 peak left shoulder. This is the all-time low right there. Looking for price action come down, challenge that low, maybe double bottom, and then rocket out of there or take off from this area. Or I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they consolidate down here to make an even lower low. We don't know, all right? But right now they're in a downtrend. Okay, they're in a downtrend till they're not in a downtrend. That's all there is to it. Okay, the same way with the SPY. In the SPY, you're in an uptrend. It's an uptrend till it's not. All right. As long as it's an uptrend, I'm going to play 10-minute. I'm going to trade 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. Okay, so there's UNG in a downtrend. Okay, we've got lows right here. Got a lower low. We've got 4 lower lows right here. We've got an even lower low, an even lower low, an even lower low, and an even lower low. Okay, so it's definitely a downtrend making lower lows. All right, see all the red candles? Hence, we got a downtrend. Okay, and we're down here in quadrant 1. That is definitely bearish down there. That's UNG. GLD also in a downtrend. Okay, they got themselves in a downtrend by seeing this low below the 17, another low below the 17. Well, they made a lower low. All right, so that is a downtrend for GLD, but they're still holding the higher ground. Notice they're still up over 300. Okay, so they're still holding the higher ground, so that's bullish up there. They just happen to get themselves into a technical downtrend because they closed some candles below these lows. All right, but that's going to happen anytime you consolidate for 4 months straight up here. Okay, there's going to be some, rock the boat, some waves that are going to move. Some waves are going to go high, some waves are going to dip low. Okay, in this one we got ourselves into a downtrend because we took out that low right there. All right, now price action, you can see up in the top of quadrant 4, that's bullish. Notice we're still over 300, still over this uptrend line. We might be getting, all right, keep your mind open, all right. We're in a downtrend, but we're not moving down, all right, which is a good sign. We might get a pullback to this uptrend, and you may see a bounce back up and maybe J-hook off of this uptrend to the upside. All right, so watch gold for a possible J-hook to the upside off of this trend line. We'll see what happens. Right now, that is bullish. Top of quadrant 4, that's bullish. And they're in a downtrend, but not moving down. All right, that's the important part. They're not moving down. Okay, let's take a look at silver. All right, silver up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish, but you notice here we go up and then we gave it up. All right, but we're still up over prior consolidation, so that's bullish. All right, up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish. We'll continue to make higher lows and higher highs. All right, so that's an uptrend. Okay, we'll stay in this uptrend till we take out this low right here. All right. Now, if they happen to put in a peak, another peak up here, and come down here and take out that low, all right, then they'll be in a downtrend. Or this low right here, if they continue moving south, take out that low, they'll be in a downtrend. And of course, if they did that, they would no longer be in the upper third and bullish, okay? So this is bullish, but and in an uptrend, all right? Because we haven't made any lower lows. Take a look at SMH. All right, SMH still in an uptrend, still bullish up there, quadrant 4. XLK, okay, still bullish up there in quadrant 4, still in an uptrend, nothing broken there. Okay, XLF. Okay, XLF made a lower low, so they're bullish. They're still consolidating over prior consolidation here. Okay, if we box this off, okay, we got consolidation. All right, and we still got consolidation over it, so that's bullish. Okay, but we're in a downtrend technically because we made a lower low. Okay, so as they pull back in this uptrend. Okay, so Right now, we're in a downtrend, okay? And we're still bullish as long as we try to maintain this bullish flag and consolidate over prior consolidation, okay? Quadrant 4, that's bullish. IYT is in a downtrend, okay? Try IYT. All right, IYT, notice here's a low. They made a lower low, so they're in a downtrend. See the low right there? Barely see it. It's a little tail. They made a lower low. And notice price action for IYT. Again, they go up, and then they give it up. Okay, so that's neutral. Okay, if they could have held up here like they were, that was bullish. Okay, but right now they went up and they gave it up, so that's just neutral. All right, hopefully they can get back up there and consolidate. Okay, you can notice we've got some consolidation. Okay, right up here. Okay, we'd like to see them. They did some up here, but they're giving it up right now. Okay, maybe they rally back on next week. We'll see what happens. It's a new month. We'll see what happens. All right, there's IYT. That's a transports. All right. How do I do a measured move? Okay, so I'm going to go to SPY and 10-minute chart. Okay, so for me on this measured move, I box off the high and the low. All right, and then I duplicate the box. All right, and then I set it up. On this high right here. Okay, so I take it and put it on this high. Now there's a chance on Monday that we open up somewhere up here. Okay, don't be surprised if that's what happens. It is what it is. Okay, and then we sell off from up here, from like maybe the midpoint. Okay, let's just say let's take the quad lines and let's just put in the midpoint. Okay, so maybe we get like half the gap and maybe we sell off from the midpoint. We don't completely fill gap. We just sell off from here, okay? So wherever that high is on Monday, okay, move this box up to it. So if it's right there, okay, if that high winds up being at the midpoint, okay, then our measured move is going to come down to right there, 610, okay? 610, okay? As it is now, our measured move resides at, okay, I'm just taking the same box, equal box, okay? Take this and rest that on the high up there. So our current measured move resides down here, okay, at 604.45. Okay, all I'm doing is measuring from here to here, and then from here, this high, down there, okay, by using the same measurement there. And that's how I project that measured move. All right, I hope you saw that. All right, that's it for me today. Don't forget, open house. Tell your friends, all right? It's free to attend, okay? The link's going to be in the description of the video. It's free to attend. All you got to do is register. We will send you the link. All right? And I hope to see you all there at my open house on Monday. Everybody have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for hanging out with me today. New 27K account starting on Monday. All right? New one. Thanks, everybody. Everybody have a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Thank you.